These are the dominant 7th chords with a raised 11th on the 2-3-5-6 string family, and these are on E flat. So we'll start with just the basic E flat 7 voicing. For instance here, which is B flat, E flat, D flat, and G. And if we raise this G to an A, we have the sound. This will be related to a B flat minor major 7, a D flat major 7 with a raised 5th, and also an A7 type chord with a raised 9th and a raised 5th and a flat 9, those sorts of sounds. So here's the first one. B flat, E flat, D flat, A. And again, this will resolve to an A flat, or resolve to a D. So we can hear that resolution to a D or to an A flat. And there's the D. So we can hear both resolutions. Moving forward, we'll do the E flat 7 flat 5 here. So this is E flat A, G, and D flat. Can move to a C, and again resolving to A flat. So again, and resolving to a D as well. So you can see how the voices kind of collapse into each other nicely with that chord. And again to the A flat. E flat 7 flat 5 here. G, D flat, A, E flat. And maybe move the top voice, the E flat, up to F. Resolving to the A flat. And resolving to the D. So either is fine there. Moving back, notice the same shape. We have two shapes. This one, and then here. A, E flat, D flat, and G. Perhaps going to an F, resolving to an A flat major, or to a D. Either one is fine, and we can hear each one really clearly. So those are the flat 5. Now if we expand it to go to B flat minor major 7 type sound and then derive from there, here's a B flat minor major 7, B flat F, D flat, and A. So we can hear, and we can hear that resolve to a D, and again to an A flat. So those are the basic resolutions here, and there's the D, like that. Moving it ahead to D flat. For instance, here's the D flat, G, E flat, and F. Resolving to an A flat major nicely. And this one resolving to a D major nicely. Now we can take that voicing and plane it up to E flat, A, F, and G, resolving to D. We can hear that works very nicely. And again, resolving to the A flat major. That's fine as well. Either one. We can hear all the resolutions. A flat and D is fine. Now moving ahead, here's the B flat minor major 7, D flat, A, F, and B flat, resolving to D major, and resolving to A flat major. Now, if we move the root up, of course, of a minor major 7, we get a major 7 sharp 5. This is D flat, A, F, and C, resolving to D, of course. This acting is an E flat 7, flat 5, sharp 11. We can hear that resolution. Now if we take that chord, and of course if we move the third of that chord, we get an A7 sharp 9, resolving nicely to a D, or resolving nicely to an A flat. So either one, this chord voicing being D flat, A, G, and C, and of course that can fold back to the B flat, resolving to A flat. Moving ahead, now the voicings on this region, right here on the fifth, B flat minor major 7. So we have an F, B flat, A, and D flat, and again resolving nicely to D. And that can resolve to A flat. Either one. Back here, we said we can move the root up, so the B flat goes to C. This is D flat major 7, sharp 5, resolving nicely to the D chord. Again, now if we move the F to G, we get this chord, G, C, A, and C sharp, which sounds like a sharp 9, and if we voice exchange G, C, A, and C sharp, or D flat, voice exchange C and D flat, and we get a really good A7 sharp 9. So this is G, D flat, A, and C. Move the C to a B flat, and then resolve to D, very nice. And then it can go to A flat as well. So either one. Back to this, and the sharp 9. This lower voice can move to F. So this gives you the D flat major 7, sharp 5, when you voice exchange C and D flat. And again, resolving really well to A flat, or resolving great to D. So either one. Going back further on the neck, B flat minor major 7, B flat, D, A, and F. So we have that sound. Now if we voice well, we don't even have, before we voice collapse, we can hear that resolution to a D major, and then to an A flat major. That's nice. Also, voice collapse, B flat and A, swap out. So A, C sharp, B flat, and F. Going nicely to an A flat. Now, we move the root, B flat to C. We have a D flat major 7, sharp 5, which actually looks like an A7, sharp 9, sharp 5, resolves nicely into an A major, and this will resolve nicely into an A flat major too. And you can hear how the voices can exchange on a chord. Very nice inner voice motion, and the voices can exchange strings. The melodies can exchange the strings and hop around. Now it's a little tough, but if we move that F to G, we get a bona fide sharp 9 on the A flat, on the A rather, in the E flat 7. Also here, we had a D flat major with a sharp 11, but if we move it to an A, which is nice, this would be D flat, F, C, A, resolves great to the D major 7 just by moving these three voices, the D flat, F, and C, all playing up. There's an A on top. We just move those three up a semitone, and we have the resolution to the D major 7. Likewise, we can move to an A flat chord as well for a resolution there. So either of those is acceptable. It's really nice. Those are excellent. Great resolutions to the 11th chord as well for D major. So E, F sharp, D, and A. So those are the replacements for an E flat 7 with a sharp 11 on the 2356 string family, on E flat, and that covers some of the major 7 sharp 5, the sharp 9 sounds on A, major 7 sharp 5 on D flat, and minor major sound on B flat.